Have you ever looked back on yourself when you're in high school and then you just kind of realize, like, oh my god, I'm such a nerd? Or, God, I'm such a loser? Hi, my name is Victorious Nightshade. I'm coming with you with another vlog called Victoriously Vlogging. Quick note here, before we go ahead and begin, go ahead and slam that subscribe button, hit that like button. Really appreciate it, guys. Remember to hit that little bell because every time you hit a bell, a little bat gets its wings. And let's go ahead and get started. All of us have these types of stories that everyone's kind of embarrassed about, where a kid might do something really embarrassing in middle school or high school. When we're younger, we don't realize that we're being dorks. Now, that seems a little harsh, but teenagers are literally the only ones that are like, you know what, I'm gonna do this at 13, and then when senior year comes around, they realize, oh my god, I'm such a loser. One of those, well, I was a loser. I'm still a loser at times, and that nerdiness or nerdness, it hasn't gone away with me. Mind you, ever since I was like 13 years old or 14 years old, I've always been into Lord of the Rings. My teacher, Mr. Sobers, he got me into Lord of the Rings along with my dad. Both of them were a really big influence. They used to show me the cartoon versions of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit.
In a hole in the ground, there lived a hobbit. Bilbo Baggins? Enough! I am Gandalf, and Gandalf means me!
It is, my precious.
What is that noise, my precious?
My soul. Hello, what's this?
Come from.
I come from under the hill, and under the hill and over the hills my paths led, and through the air I am he that walks unseen.
Then I have guessed your riddle. You are one of those miserable, tub-thumping lake men. You and your town shall pay dearly for this intrusion.
I fell in love with J.R.R. Tolkien's works such as Silmarillion, and the rest is history. But Vic, what does that have to belong to this story? Did you know that I actually glued hair to my feet when I was younger? I shit you not. Okay, so here's the story. When I was younger, I didn't really have very many friends. I was always looking to be accepted, and I just couldn't do it. Like, literally kids would bully me for just the dumbest reasons, and me being super sensitive, I would always come home in shambles. And the thing is that whenever I would come home, I would always be, like crying, or, you know what, I just want to be myself, I want to get on the internet, just leave me be, that sort of deal. With this, I started getting more into Lord of the Rings, and, my mom, she wasn't that supportive of it, just because, unfortunately, with me not having very many friends, and the only friend that I seemed to have at that time, my mom was actually paying. I shit you not, she actually gave this girl named Tony money. And I swear to God, that was like a dowry on friendship. I know that's sad, ain't it? The thing is with this story is, when you don't really have very many friends. Hi, Kitty Bear. Kitty Bear. No? Okay. See? Loser. When you don't have very many friends, you tend to do things. I wasn't a bad kid. I was not really into my studies because I was depressed all the time. I just wanted to play the internet. I just wanted to do whatever I could just to get away from reality. With that, it kind of manifested in like some sort of delusion where I believed that I was a hobbit for some reason. Like my dad, he kind of egged it on where he was kind of like, oh yeah, you're my little hobbit. Like I don't think he realized what he was doing. Any good parent at the time, you want to support your kids. But don't do that. If your kid's starting to show delusions, crack down on it. But don't be so harsh like my mom did, where if I started writing about it, or if I want to get it out, like creatively, my mom would actually throw away my drawings and my books and stuff. She's like, you gotta stop that hobbit shit. Fair enough. I actually lost my mind by the time I was 14. And this is going to sound really sad, but I actually cut some of my hair off and glued it onto my feet. That is like the weirdest fucking thing I've ever done. Mind you, the swearing is definitely necessary on this point, because, you know, I hit that was just weird in middle school. I was weird. Another weird thing is I remember saving up all my money at one point and getting Rogaine. Men's Rogaine. And I read the thing, it's like, oh, if you're not a man, or if you're under 18, do not use. I looked at it, at least I was smart enough to read the package. And I looked at it, I'm like, I shouldn't do this. So, the funny part is, I took that Rogaine and tried to give it to my dad, and he got super pissed off, so live and let die. That's just my little story time. I've done some pretty embarrassing things as a kid. That's just one of them. Another thing is that I used to do YouTube when I was in high school too, but I would sing and then I would quick delete the videos because kids would find them. Then they would bully me about it, but you know, when you put yourself on the internet, what are kids gonna do? They're gonna try to find you and they're gonna try to bully you no matter what, especially if you're a loser. Not to say that this has deterred me in any way. I still love playing Dungeons and Dragons, and I still enjoy being a nerd. I mean, I just got my wife Hemovlogging into this. I've also gotten Machapan and everyone into the whole Dungeons and Dragons thing. And with that, I'm actually gonna let you guys know that I am doing a podcast type of thing. Not exactly a podcast, just a recording of our video, or a recording of us playing the game. I'm actually working on a scenario on my own. I've actually made a whole map, everything. So this is actually my first time being a DM or a dungeon master, or dungeon mistress, if you will. And this actually makes me really nervous because I've never done that before. I used to play Dungeons and Dragons with my friend Dylan Thorne a lot. Him and my friend Kelly and Tim and Levi, all of us used to play Dungeons and Dragons together. But mind you, the one character that I've had for a long time, I had to redo because she's an asshole. Now, the reason I say she's an asshole, she is literally half halfling, half dwarf, all fucked up. Her backstory is that she was born to a mother who happened to be a halfling, a father who happened to be a dwarf. Both were tragically killed. She was raised by humans in the next town, and she just kind of tapers on that way where she was kind of bullied for being small. She would quick try to make shoes for herself because she believed she was human, and basically I turned her into a psychologically damaged halfling. Dwabbit, if you will. That's just my nerdiness coming out. I want to know from you guys. Do you guys have any nerdy tendencies, or what do you guys like to do for fun that seems to be quote-quote nerdy, or do you have any stories of your own? Definitely leave the comments down below, leave a link to the video if you want to respond to this, and I'll see y'all next time. Remember, stay safe and have a good night, my little nightlings. Sleep well.